Today I'm going to talk about my wildest writing slash publishing dreams. This was a video originally done by Lindsay Puckett on her channel. I will link her below, talking about her wildest publishing and writer dreams. And then several other people have done it since. I'm going to link them all below as well. But Laura Wrights and Kevlandia both tagged me, so I'm going to do it. I wasn't going to because I was lazy. And I talked a little bit about some of these dreams before, but I'm going to do it anyway. So here we go. I do actually have a writer bucket list that I keep. This is a very long list of things that I've written down that I would really love to achieve, that I keep in my notes app, so that I can kind of tick things off as I achieve it. It's very long, it's very exhaustive, and I add stuff to it all the time. But I do like keeping that because even though they're not like goals, they're dreams, it's still kind of a way for me to like tick something off and feel really good about having achieved that. Like when I ticked off get an agent and like get a book deal, those were really exciting things for me. But anyway, I'm gonna talk about some of the dreams I have. It's not gonna be as long as that bucket list, but I just wanted to say I do have a bucket list. But let's go ahead. My first wild publishing dream is I would love to have my book go into a second printing. So when your book is published, they print a certain amount of copies for your first printing. And it's not like super uncommon to just have one printing ever. But if your book goes into a second printing, it basically means like your physical books sold out and they were forced to then print more of those books. And it's like a really good sign, and it's like really nice in your success. And I really like the idea of that. I like the idea of like my book was so popular, so unexpectedly popular, that it sold out of the copies that they thought it was going to sell. I think that would be really, really exciting. And so I would love for my book to go into a second printing. It would make me so happy if an author that I admire read and loved my book. There's so many authors out there who I absolutely love. I love their books and really like them as people. I don't know them, obviously, but from like whatever interaction online or watching them online, that I really I would just love it if they loved the book. People like Donnell Clayton and Angie Thomas and Tiffany D. Jackson, and like Lee Bardugo. Like, I would be so over the moon if any of those people read and enjoyed my book. And quite honestly, even if they read it and they never said anything else about it because they like hated it, I would still be really excited that they had read it at all, that it had come up on their radar and they had read it. That would be really, really exciting for me. Next publishing dream, or writing dream, publishing dream, whatever. I would really love to be like a headlining author at BookCon. Like, you know, when BookCon puts out all their stuff and like their posters and your face is giant on like a poster, or like sent out on their social media, and just like be one of those authors and like have a signing thing, and like the signing line is like huge because all these people are so excited about your book and they're so excited to like meet you. I think that would be really exciting, partially because I have a lot of delusions of grandeur, but also because I think that would just it would be really exciting to see so many people excited to read my book and like get it signed and like be so hyped up about it. Low key, I wouldn't be mad if like my books was one of the ones where they did an ARC drop and people went like buck wild to try and get the book early. Like, I wouldn't be mad at that. Certainly, I hope people have more decorum, but if they don't, and it's my book that they decide to lose all, you know, facilities over, I wouldn't be upset about that. So that would be really great. I'd also, of course, love to be a New York Times bestselling author. I think no matter how much you know about the New York Times, the fact of the matter is that for the average person who isn't involved in traditional publishing and doesn't know a lot about it, they don't know that the New York Times list is curated. They don't know all the like politics and systemic racism and all the stuff that goes into the New York Times bestseller list. They just know that if you are a New York Times bestseller, you are fucking impressive and that you are the shit. And that's all that matters. authors, and I think that would be really nice. I would love to like have all my books say New York Times bestseller, and to like, you know, when people introduce me, they're like New York Times bestselling author, and you know, I'm sure my mom would love it. My mom would adore being able to be like, so she was in the New York Times. She's a New York Times bestseller, no big deal. Because my mom brags about me even when I'm not even doing that much. So, but I think that would be really exciting. I feel like this is a section of my list where I'm like, the teens. I did read this book for teens to read. I really love it if like teens like, you know, like posted like TikToks of the book, or like, you know, just like posted being like, oh my gosh, I love this so much, and like, this is like my favorite book. I would be so jazzed if a teen said my book was their favorite book. That would make me so excited, because those are the people that I really want to reach with the book, and that I really want to love the book and to, you know, feel seen in some way by the book. And so any sort of acknowledgement by them that they really enjoy the book would make me so happy. That's like definitely a dream. I would love, especially if any teens did like a book report on my book. I remember, because I was a nerd when I was in school, I would go like ham with my book reports. I was so serious about it. And I would really love for a teen to be very serious about my book. I don't think we ever did like book reports in high school. We basically just like picked a book and did like essays, but that still counts. I'm still fine with that. If they've chosen my book to do an essay, that's also really great. I think it's really normal to want fan art of your book, and like fan art is cool and that's awesome, but I would really love it if someone did like a book defacing of my book. Like, I love those videos where people deface a book, so they like draw and like doodle all over it, and they like make it super impressive, and like even more impressive than the hardcover already was, and like extra pretty. And I think that's so cool. I would be so excited if someone did that for my book. Another dream, a sort of like more academic dream, I would love to be the writer in residence at my university, or at any other major Canadian university. So writer in residence, as I understand it, basically means like you are a writer, you are on staff for the school, and like you come and you sit in an office, and like the creative writing students can come to you and get help workshopping their work. I like the idea of that for like liking to be able to help younger students and help them like hone their craft, and you're basically like just like CPing for a bunch of people, but like you get your own little office space, and like you can say you worked at the university, and you get to like re-explore your university town as like a staff member. And I think that's really exciting. I think that would be super cool. Again, I don't know that that would happen to me, because I write young adult, and because in like university academic settings, the creative writing that they do is really focused on adult literary. It's very much away from genre fiction, but like maybe if I blew up big enough, they wouldn't care. So that's another dream. And of course, book turned into a TV show. Who wouldn't? I would really want my book turned into a TV show. I think that would be so cool. I would also accept a movie, but I like a TV show because I feel like you can tell so much more of the story. I talked about this in my anniversary video but like you can tell so much more of the story. You can get so much more in depth with the characters, and you can like fully flesh out that story. And it also means that like stuff from your books won't be cut out. Like they won't mash like 2 books into one 90-minute movie. You know, you'll get like one fully fleshed out season for one book and one fully fleshed out season for the second book, which I really like. And I also like the idea of how it can kind of get away from you in a bit. I like that idea of like, could the writer's room open up and they reimagine your book going forward in ways that maybe you didn't? And maybe that could turn out badly. Like maybe they would do a really bad job of it, and they'd do a 3rd season and they completely botch it, and I'd be like, you didn't understand anything I was doing here. But maybe they do a really good job, and they kind of the story unfolds in a way that I didn't necessarily predict, that I hadn't written, but now people can experience. And so I really like that about a TV show. I also said in my anniversary video, I don't have any roles for Ellen Page, but I would really appreciate if Ellen Page was in it. I don't know how, but I would really like it if she were. There are no characters for her, but still, maybe she could walk by. I just want to meet Ellen Page. And I think that's just the bottom line here. I just want to meet her. Interesting fact, she went to my high school. We went to the same high school. I also went to the same high school as Drake. Yeah, that's like Toronto, small Canadian, not even a small Canadian city, but like Toronto fact. Drake went to my high school and he was there the same time as me. I never saw him because people that were in our arts program just like weren't at school ever and never interacted with the general population. That school is closed now. But anyway, in case you wanted to know. And last but not least, I would love to one day in the future be able to write full time. This is a dream because I'm not sure if this will actually be financially possible at any time. The only reason I'm writing full time now is because I lost my job and I have been unsuccessful in finding another job. It is very difficult during this time. But that's essentially the only reason I am writing full time right now. If I had been offered a job, I would have a day job. But essentially, this is a dream that I never thought I would have. I was always very like specific to being like, I'm not gonna write full time ever because I don't want to hustle. I don't want to have to like try and like write and sell 2-3 books in a year. I don't want to deal with the uncertainty of the way your payments come and only being paid twice a year. I was like, I don't want to bother with any of that. I was very focused on all those financial things, and I was like, it's much better to have a consistent day job and then write on the side. However, now that I've been actually experiencing writing full time, I've been really enjoying it. I like it because it's very different. It's very different to work for yourself, even though I'm technically working for a publisher. It's technically like a freelance. It's different doing like a freelance than it is working for a company. There are really great things about working for a company. I love being involved in like another company's mission and like learning more about them and doing that. But there are a lot of office politics that come along with those sorts of things that can be really stressful. It can be really stressful to be constantly like working against that sort of thing. That's the only part of day jobs that I don't really like. But also I think the thing about writing full time is because I'm at home, I'm not having to do a sort of unnecessary commute. I have so much more flexibility in my time. If it wasn't Corona time, if I wanted to be like, oh, I want to like go visit my boyfriend and like stay up north for a month, if I could do that. If I wanted to be like, oh, I want to go visit my mom and I want to stay with her for a couple of weeks, I could do that. There's all this flexibility, and more than anything, I love that I get to be creative for the whole day. My whole day. So I have time to paint, I have time to do drawings, I have time to, what else creatively am I doing? I have time to read, I have time to watch like shows that help me refill my creative well. That flexibility and that freedom I've really, really enjoyed. And so I hope that one day I'll be able to achieve that for myself, and I'll have the kind of stability where I can indefinitely and purposely decide to write full time. That's it for sharing my writer dreams for this video. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to me already, please subscribe, and please check out all the people I linked with their writer dream videos because they're super cool. You should absolutely check them out. And you should also do this if you want to do this. I don't tag people because I get really stressed out about it for whatever reason. I think I get stressed out about asking people to do stuff. So if you want to do this, just tag yourself and do it. And thank you. Oh yes, if you have writer dreams, post them in the comments. There you go. And other than that, thank you so much for watching. Bye.